three things that can lead up to an act of violence. And the first thing is your verbal actions. You know, verbal actions is what you might say to someone. You know, teasing, taunting, threats of physical harm. That can actually lead up to an act of violence. You have kids today who will bust on each other, or in your terms, diss somebody, and then they turn around and they think it's funny. But not to everybody it's funny. It can be very hurtful. It can be very damaging to a child. You have some kids who are turned around, they're so teased so much that they actually are backed up into a corner and they come out swinging because the actual pressure of being teased so much gets to them. And then you have a kid who becomes withdrawn from school, withdrawn from parents, don't want to associate themselves with other friends. So things like that can actually lead up to an act of violence. Instead of us encouraging one another, uplifting one another, paying compliments to one another, we should not tear each other down. No one in this room or in this society is better than the next person. That's right. You know, and we all have to show respect for ourselves and others through our words and actions. Even the way we dress. I know that, you know, the style is the baggy pants for the fellas. I got it. However, you know, when you're to a point and you're emulating what you see on TV, like the media, there's different forms of media. You got the TV, the radio, the music videos, and then you have these kids who are walking around and they see that and they feel as though, well, that's what I'm talking about. I'm going to do that too. Yeah. All right? But it's not about that. You know, it's about showing respect for yourself. You walking down the street with baggy pants showing your boxers or your underwear, like somebody really wants to see your skid marks. It's not all about that. You know, that does not make you cool. That doesn't make you cool. And then, you know, years ago, you know, I know when I was growing up, I'm 40 years old. But when I was growing up, you know, guys didn't wear the baggy pants. You had the belt on and you had it above your waist. You looked presentable. You know, you went to an interview with a suit and tie. Today you got young kids with the baggy pants and the big shirts. You know, t-shirts. T-shirts are considered underwear. It's to be worn underneath your shirt. You know, it's a reason for that. But yeah, today they walk around like that, you know, with the Timberland boots. They got Adidas sneakers. They got to have the bling bling. And then, you know, we can't talk about the guys without talking about the girls. Because, you know, we have these girls today that they're exposing every little thing, you know, very scandalous. And then you want respect. You have to show respect for yourself. When you turn around and you have everything exposing, and then you have somebody who comes up to you and say, oh, how you doing, Cookie? You know, and then you turn around and say, I'm not you, Crumb. You know, and then, you know, you want respect, but you have to show it too. You know, you should not be showing all your skin. You know, no one should know what you look like, just like that, out in the open. You're supposed to educate your mind, not your behind. Plain and simple. And I like to keep it real. You know, and because you can't sugarcoat anything with kids today. Kids today, they are in the Y generation. When I was growing up, when you were told to sit down, you didn't say, well, Mom, why? You didn't ask, why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? If Mom said that you can't go outside, you didn't say, well, why, Mom? Today, kids are saying, oh, well, why, Mom? Why can't I do this? Well, so-and-so's mom do that. And then, you know, Mom will turn around and say, well, I'm not so-and-so's mother. I'm your mother. You're going to do what I tell you to do when you want to do it, you know, when I tell you to do it. It's not that thing where, you know, you have kids today who resent authority. You know, they don't like to be told what to do, when to do it, or how to do it. Now, when I'm the type of parent, you're going to do what I tell you to do, whether you like it or not. Yes. And I don't want to hear no ifs, ands, or buts about it, or you should have with. That's the way it should be. It's called respect. And you have to show that starting here. And as parents, we have to show that respect to our kids. And kids, that's what we expect from you as well. Now, there's another thing that leads up to an act of violence, and that's your body gestures. Now, girls are very catty by nature. You know, as soon as someone says something that you don't like, you get the rolling of your eyes, you get the sucking of your teeth, you get that snake-like neck going on, and you're like, whatever. That's why you're laughing, because you agree, okay? But your body gestures can lead up to an act of violence. And then you have the guys, you know, as soon as someone says something to them, they're ready to step on them. Like, what? What are you about? Who do you think you're talking to? Boy, I steal you. Using the slang, using the lingo. And those are things that can lead up to an act of violence. We want you to, if you are being pressured by someone to do something that you know good and well is wrong, it's against your parents' wishes or even against the law, we don't want you to turn around and be aggressive or demanding. You know, you're going to go through peer pressure, and I know some of you probably are experiencing it right now. It doesn't necessarily have to be in reference to drugs, violence. It could be bullying somebody. It could be teasing somebody, not being a friend to that person. You know, you have to be your own person. Be a leader, not a follower. Be an individual, you know? Just because someone wants to put another person down, that doesn't mean that you have to turn around and do the same thing. You never should let someone dangle you like some little puppet and then you turn around and dance to their music. The only music you should be dancing to is God's music. Yeah. He is the ruler of our universe, no one else. You know, and no one should have that much control of you for you to go out there and do something that you know good and well you should not be doing. You also have another thing that can lead up to an act of violence is physical. Hitting, pushing, shoving, kicking. In your terms, some people say giving somebody a serious beat down. You know, picking up something to inflict bodily harm. You know, Pennsylvania is cracking down on juvenile crime because they know that the actual crime rate amongst juveniles is escalating. Here you have some juveniles who are actually being charged as adults. Adults, people. I mean, that is crazy. But I mean, they're out here committing what they consider adult crimes, you know, because someone said something that they didn't like. Someone came up in their face, or as you guys would say, all up in their grill. You know, come on. You know, you're going to hit somebody and you're going to deck somebody up because of that? Because they said something that you didn't like? You take it like a grain of salt, throw it over your shoulder, and keep on going. You know, if you know good and well that you have someone who is a bad influence, you know, they're always negative, they're always talking about somebody and spreading rumors, you as an individual need to drop that person like a hot potato and roll like a donut. You know, leave them alone, leave well enough alone. But you have kids who are being arrested at a higher rate than any adults, and that is crazy. Young as 14 years old being charged as adults. And see, we used to have it where if you were a juvenile and you were charged as